Welcome back to the Kwasi Arsenal podcast. My name is Kwasi. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal are still winning. 2 games in a row, 2 wins in a row, 2 clean sheets in a row as well. We beat Aston Villa 2-0. It was a very good performance from Arsenal, from Villa as well. And I think there are a few things that I learned in this game, we learned in this game, that we've got to talk about. Now, first and foremost, I didn't do a match reaction for this game. And the reason that's why I didn't do it is I didn't know whether to react in a negative way or in a positive way. Positively, we picked up 3 points at the Villa Park. It's a very difficult ground to go to early in the season. Unai Emery and Villa did put in a very good shift. So getting a win out of there and a clean sheet, that is absolutely beautiful. But on the other side, and why I really felt like Arsenal was so lucky, and we'll talk about the lucky part of it, is I kind of feel like the result came to us and we didn't go to get the result. I kind of feel like Villa could have won that game comfortably if Oli Watkins was the Oli Watkins we saw last campaign. Villa win that game easily and comfortably. Those 2 chances that they wasted before we scored, those chances should have been buried. So that's why I didn't do a match reaction, because I really didn't understand how to react to that game, right? So what did we learn in this game? And also, most importantly, what are some of the lessons that will trickle down through the campaign? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Now, the first thing we saw in this game is that Arsenal need a clinical finisher, and this is no longer a joke. When we were talking about Arsenal needing a striker, I remember saying this throughout the summer, that Arsenal don't need a clinical finisher because we cannot score goals. No, that's not the problem. Arsenal's problem is not scoring goals. The question and the problem is, when do you score those goals, right? And when do you score the important goals, and who scores the really important goals? Before Arsenal scored, TROSAARD and Partey scored, we had 2 glorious chances. One for Kai Havertz. Actually, both of them fell into the hands of Kai Havertz, and he actually buried none of them, right? Like, none of them. And those were chances that you could say had an XG of maybe 0.7. They weren't these big chances, but they were very good chances when you're at Villa Park and you know Villa are such a good sign. They were very, very good chances. And our striker, our number 9, buried none of them. The first one, he goes through on goal. It's a very, very good run, kind of a counter attack. And then he tries to square the ball into Saka. That is not a bad idea. But where he was, he's got a lot of time. He's got a lot of space. He easily could have done the right thing. If that chance is onto Erling Haaland, he's burying that. If that chance is onto Victor Gyökeres, he's burying that as well. So we didn't score in that opportunity. The second chance, I think, was created by Gabriel Martinelli. The ball is crossed into the penalty area, and Kai Havertz again, he doesn't convert it. It goes into a goal kick. If Arsenal had a clinical finisher, we could have scored 1 or 2 goals earlier than the chances Aston Villa had. And this was a game of fine margins. And that's why I'm saying Arsenal are not looking for a striker because we cannot score goals or we cannot get good goals. We are looking for a striker because we need a player that can actually define games that will be defined by fine margins. And this was a fine margins game. And I think TROSAARD, with all due honesty, if you go back to our season last season, TROSAARD is the player that has been scoring goals, in games that are going to be defined or in games that were defined by fine margins. Bayern Munich 2-2, Leandro TROSAARD. Everton 1-0 Goodson Park, Leandro TROSAARD. Manchester United 1-0 at the Old Trafford, Leandro TROSAARD. So, and I think Mikel Arteta, when he was talking about strikers, he said, we have our players, we have our strikers, and we trust them. And I know, and I tell you this, Arsenal will score more than 80 goals again this campaign. But what about those goals that really matter? If this game was 2-0 before TROSAARD scores, and we had wasted 2 chances, I don't think any Arsenal fan would be reacting positively right now. So a clinical finisher in this team is missing. Someone to define fine margins. Someone to step up when this team is creating half chances, and then just go and create something different. I think Saka also had a very good chance created by Martin Odegaard. That was in the second half. And again, I think he tries to... Does he try to loop the goalkeeper? Does he try to square it back? If it goes first time, that is a goal. That's why I'm saying a clinical finisher. Someone with an X factor in that attacking line is missing. But also, what I saw in this game as well, if you're an Arsenal fan, you've got to be very, very worried. Apart from Leandro Trossard, which other player comes off the bench and you're like, yeah, this is a good change? Reece Nelson, no thank you. Gabriel Jesus has picked up a groin injury and we don't know for how long he's going to be out for. And this is what I don't understand. If I'm seated like 70 hours away from this Arsenal team, doing my analysis on the team, and I know that Gabriel Jesus will get injured earlier on in the campaign or at some point in the campaign, and I also know that Thomas Partey, regardless of how good he's been, regardless of how sweet the goal is scored against Villa, he will pick up an injury at some point in time. How do these geezers don't say it? Why didn't we go for a striker? Why didn't we go for an attacker in this team? Well knowing that Gabriel Jesus, yes, is back with a fire, with fire in his belly, but that really doesn't matter. The guy can come back with 95 rounds of fire in his belly, and he will get injured, and it won't work out. So again, I think Arsenal need a forward player. I think someone with an X factor in attack is needed in this team. The second thing I want to say in this game is we were incredibly lucky. Now, this is not a problem. This is not a criticism. This is a positive. I don't know whether the dog win was actually brought in as a sign of luck. If win is bringing us this kind of luck, please, thank you so much for introducing the dog to the squad. When you're going to win games, there are games that you're going to win by fine margins, incredible luck, right? By whiskers. And I think this is a game where we were so lucky, and I don't have a problem with that. Luck is part of football. Luck is part of everyday life. But at times, you've got to create your own luck. What do I mean? Arsenal had 3 clear goal-scoring opportunities that went begging. Possibly, if Arsenal score those 3, or probably score 1 or 2 of those, the game changes. So we were lucky. And there's so many games where we will be lucky. I think last campaign as well, we were lucky in some games. Manchester City 0-0 at the Etihad. Nathan Ake's close range header ending up into the gloves of David Dreyer. That was incredibly lucky. But we've got to understand that however lucky you are, you've got to play well. You've got to show up. I think we showed up. I think there are a few players that actually had a good game. I think Raya had a good game. I think Trossard had a good game. I think Julian Timber had a good game. But a few players were actually affected by the environment, by the occasion, which was we are going to Villa playing a team that beat us 2-0 last campaign. We've got to be a little bit careful here. This team is not better, and that's another lesson that is brutal. I don't know, I didn't pick up so many positives from that game, apart from the fact that we've won 2 in a row, conceded none, and we are, pushing for the title. This team is not better. Guys, this team is not better. And I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. Mikel Merino and Ricardo Calafiori do not make this team better. Why? Because both of them might not even be starters in this squad. I love Mikel Merino. I think it's a fantastic signing. I think it's a very good signing. I think he covers the mistakes. He covers the tracks of Mikel Arteta. Mikel bought Fabio Vieira in that position. 35 million, he doesn't use him, and then he brings in Kai Havertz in that position as well, 65 million. So that is 100 million. It doesn't work out, and then he goes in to bring in Mikel Merino. So Merino is a good replacement of Havertz and a good replacement of Fabio Vieira. But my problem with this team, I don't think Mikel Merino has the same impact as Gundogan at City. I don't think Ricardo Calafiori has the impact on this team that makes us title favorites and title challengers. And this goes back to the summer. What did Arsenal really need to do? We needed to understand that Gabriel Jesus is injury prone and Edin Ketia is not at the level, so go and get a striker. Number one. Number two, we needed to understand that Jorginho and Partey are old, susceptible to injuries. Go and get a player like João Neves. Go and get a player like Bruno Guimaraes. Go and get a player like... Go and get someone in the position. Yusuf Fofana was available for starters. I think we've done none of that. Clearly, what we did this summer was Arsenal looking at the problem as 1 + 1 = 11. And we know that 11 is the wrong answer. The right answer is 2. And we've gone, yeah, 11 is the wrong answer. So we're going to go 22. The answer is 2. So that's the problem. This team is not better. When I look at, and I tell you, there's so many teams in the Premier League right now that are not better. I don't think United are better. I don't think Castle are better. I don't even think Liverpool are better. I mean, call me crazy, but I think they're better. I don't think Spurs are better. I think it's been a weird window. But if you manage to pull in 2 transfers, and those 2 transfers are Ricardo Calafiori for 40 million euros and Mikel Merino for 35 million euros, that is 75 million euros. Could we have got a striker and a midfielder for 35 million euros? Yes, we could. Yusuf Fofana at 30 million euros. I don't know what kind of striker we would get for 40 million euros. I mean, it's a weird market. It's been weird. Maybe I don't know. Jimenez at Feyenoord could have been the guy. I don't know. But this team is not better. This team is not better. The performance that we put in against Villa away last season was the same performance. Oh, Kosi, we won. Yes, we did. But I'm warning you. This Arsenal team is going to lose a game very, very soon. And that game is going to be a bad performance. I want to talk about the squad depth a little bit. Sorry, the video is negative, but it's how I felt, with this game. The squad depth is something that I don't understand. I don't understand what we are working with. First and foremost, let's talk about this, right? This is the team that started against Villa. Let's go. Julian Timber, Gabriel, Saliba, White. The difference there is that you have Julian Timber in and Zinchenko out. Rice, Partey, Odegaard, Saka, Havertz, and Gabriel Martinelli. My problem with this team is that, first and foremost, Partey does well to get himself onto the score sheet, but Partey is unreliable. So when we take out Partey from the midfield, we introduced Jorginho, and when we take out Declan Rice, we introduced Mikel Merino, right? We've sold Emil Smith-Rowe. We have sold Edin Ketia is going to Nottingham Forest. And then Tavares is gone, Lokonga is gone, Ramsdale could leave, and a few other players. And then Gabriel Jesus, who you thought was going to be the cross-cutting factor, is actually injury prone and has already picked up his first injury in the season. I just feel like the squad depth that we have dealt with this summer is weird. The way we have dealt with our squad depth is weird. Vieira is gone, Nketiah is going out, Gabriel Jesus is injured, and Mo Smith-Rowe is gone, and we have signed 2 players that, yes, they do bring balance in the team, and I think he wants to bring in Mikel Merino because Mikel Merino just brings in a lot of balance on the left-hand side. I understand that perfectly well. I just feel like if we suffered injuries, 2 injuries, it would go weird. It would become weird, honestly. But I want you to tell me what you think. I just feel like, again, the squad depth is something that I don't feel we have done enough with. Now, the general impression that I got from this game is this. We are starting at our lowest, but I'm not sure when we are going to go into the second gear, third gear, and run through the other gears. Because at the moment, if you played Brighton there's no guarantee you win. If you played City, there's no guarantee you win. If you played a decent block, there is no guarantee you win. So we've got to organize ourselves better. And this is not only on Mikel, this is not only on Arsenal. I think it's been generally courtesy of the Euros, generally courtesy of the fact that our players came back from their pre-seasons and resting. Most of the players didn't have pre-season. None of our signings has had a pre-season. So it's a weird season, and sadly, it's a season where we expected to go and create magic and create wonders. I want your thoughts. I want your opinions in the comment box below. Tell me your impressions of the game. Who was your man of the match? I struggle, but I'm going to go with David Raya. He's the one that I thought created magic. He's the one that I thought that kept us in the game, and luck as well, because the first chance Oli Watkins gets, puts it wide. If he buries that, this podcast is about we lost, but we didn't lose, and therefore we stay positive for now. Hit the like button. See you soon.